Cincinnati. We have seen pictures from Denver. Tonight in Brooklyn, New York, it got violent outside the home of the New York Nets, the Barclays Center. There was billy club swinging. A police sergeant in New York tonight was hit with brass knuckles by a protester. A New York City police van was set aflame in Brooklyn. This is Denver, KCRA TV, just one of the places where protesters have gathered. There are protests in too many municipalities for us to list and for us to show you on live cameras. That's one way of putting it. Dallas, Texas, right before we came on the air, took a violent turn in the center of the city. Here again, one of the police lines in Los Angeles, where things have been sporty for the past couple of nights, and CHP had a couple of cruisers banged up, and they also banged up a protester who chose, incorrectly it turns out, to hop on a cruiser as it was moving. Morgan Chesky is our other correspondent out and about in Minneapolis tonight. Morgan, I've been watching your work tonight in disbelief at your reporting that around you saw again tonight no police or National Guard presence. Is that still the case?
Brian, that's very much still the case. No sign of National Guard, no sign of state police. And because of that, people are free to play their music as they wish in this area. I'm standing in front of the 3rd precinct. We'll show that in just a second, but I want to show behind you where a new fire has been set by these crowds that at this point in time are free to roam around this area and do as they wish, which is what we've seen the past 2 nights, and that's an unfortunate reality that we are witnessing tonight. I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera around this way if we can. This is what is left of the 3rd precinct of the Minneapolis police station, and you're looking at what is left of the entrance, and people have been going in and out of that entrance all night, taking whatever they can, Brian. And I saw one woman walk out with a can of Lysol wipes. I saw others walk out carrying police ledger books inside. And this is just one building in about a 10-block radius area that has been laid waste the past 2 nights, and now we're approaching a 3rd night. And as of this point in time, it looks to be very much the same situation. No law enforcement. We do know that there were several hundred people that made their way from this area at 8 o'clock when that curfew went into effect. And this is just one of the hundreds of gas and smoke canisters that were put out into the streets by members of law enforcement to try to disperse that crowd. However, upon being deployed, the law enforcement continued on down the road, and so did that crowd. We have confirmed reports, Brian, that the 5th precinct, which is about 3 miles from where I'm standing, is being swarmed in that area by a large crowd that we believe started from here. We also know that earlier today, part of I-35, the interstate, was cut off by another protest. And so here we are, going now 4 days since the death of George Floyd, and there's still so much pain and anger in this community, Brian. We were actually going to give you a look at what the 5th precinct looked like. However, it was deemed too dangerous to approach right now. So all of this while we watch and wait for any sign of law enforcement and have yet to see it. Brian?
Yeah, Morgan, because you were moving when Ali Velshi was moving, I should tell you we've talked to him since you've reached your location. He's at the other side of a bridge abutment. He's about 2 intersections away from the 5th. As we talked to him, a state police helicopter was above. We saw a fresh plume, what looked more like smoke than tear gas, but it looks like a crowd has gathered down there at the 5th precinct. The big question coming off last night is, will the MPD, will the mayor choose to make a stand to defend that precinct? And Morgan, I've got Minneapolis Fire radio on here where I'm broadcasting from. No apparatus en route to that fire behind you. They're insisting that it be secure. That was the story of the night last night.